Hello students, today I will start titration part. This is very much important. First we should know what is titration. Titration is a method of adding known solution to unknown solution or unknown solution to known solution with the help of burette. So this process is known as titration. Now what is burette? This is a kind of apparatus you can see where we usually take known solution, and this is the conical flask where we usually take unknown solution. So we add known solution to the unknown solution with the help of burette, and we find out the concentration of unknown solution with the help of known solution by using indicator. So there are some terms like unknown solution and known solution. What is the meaning of known and unknown solution? Unknown solution is that solution whose concentration we have to find out, whose concentration is unknown. We have to find out the concentration of that unknown solution. Known solution is the solution whose concentration is known. जिसका concentration हमको पता है उसको बोलते हैं known solution. So हम अननोन सॉल्यूशन का कंसंट्रेशन फाइंड आउट करते हैं विद द हेल्प ऑफ नोन सॉल्यूशन, एंड हेल्प करता है इंडिकेटर. व्हाई एंड हाउ? नॉर्मली व्हेन आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द एसिड बेस इंडिकेटर, in those cases acid and base are colorless. So when we will add unknown solution to the known solution or known solution to the unknown solution, how do we know that titration has been completed? Because this titration is based on the neutralization of acid and base. Equivalence point. What is the equivalence point? When the milliequivalent of acid will be equal to milliequivalent of base, or milliequivalent of one known solution will be equal to milliequivalent of unknown solution. Law of equivalence. So how do we know that we have reached the equivalence point? So to get the equivalence point, we will use the indicator. Indicators are the substance or the solution which gives indication for the completion of the reaction. For the completion of the reaction. Now how these will give the indication? This will give the indication in terms of color change, in terms of turbidity, or in terms of smell. There are different ways in which indicators can indicate that reaction has been completed. Most of time when we are talking about acid base indicator, we normally use acid base indicator like this. This is like methyl orange, bromophenol, thiamyl blue, phenolphthalein, alizarin. Most of cases में we usually use methyl orange and this methyl orange and phenolphthalein. Methyl orange changes the color in the pH range of 4 to 6, whereas phenolphthalein changes the color in the pH 8 to 10. So how to do this titration and how to find out the concentration of unknown solution, right? So इंडिकेटर के केसेस में लाइक अगर एसिडिक मीडियम है तो मिथाइल ऑरेंज का ऑरेंज कलर होगा, और अगर बेसिक मीडियम है या स्लाइटली एसिडिक मीडियम है तब भी वो येलो होगा. ठीक, दैट डिपेंड अपॉन द पीएच कलर. दैट आई विल एक्सप्लेन लेटर ऑन. कम टू द पॉइंट, टाइट्रेशन का हम क्लासिफिकेशन जब करते हैं तो ऑन द बेस ऑफ मोड ऑफ टाइट्रेशन, टाइट्रेशन इज डिवाइडेड इनटू 3 पार्ट: सिंपल टाइट्रेशन, बैक टाइट्रेशन and double titration. So first of all we have to discuss simple titration. In simple titration, one solution is known and another solution is unknown. another solution is unknown. So when one solution is known and another solution is unknown, then this titration is known as simple titration. Say, for example, if we further divide this simple titration, so we can discuss like acid base titration. So this is the sub part of simple titration, or we can say redox titration, or we can say precipitation titration. सो सबसे इजी सबसे पहले जो है वो है एसिड बेस टाइट्रेशन. सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द एसिड बेस टाइट्रेशन. इन एसिड बेस टाइट्रेशन सपोज एक एसिड अननोन है और एक बेस नोन है. तो बेस सपोज वी हैव टेकन नोन सॉल्यूशन, से एक्वस NaOH, राइट, सॉल्यूशन ऑफ NaOH, and this is known. Concentration, say molarity is known, say 1 molar, 1 molarity. Now there is unknown solution, and this unknown solution we have, suppose HCl, concentration, that is molarity, we have to find out. Now we have to use the indicator we have to use depending upon what is unknown solution, राइट. नॉन सोल्यूशन क्या है और अननोन सोल्यूशन क्या है, उसके बेसिस पर हमको इंडिकेटर यूज़ करना है, राइट. सो इंडिकेटर चॉइस इज़ वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट ओवर हियर. वी हैव टू चूज द इंडिकेटर ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ what we are taking in the burette. So unknown solution is normally taken in the burette. Suppose I am taking this, right, this part, and this part I am taking over here so that I can explain you. Over here. So suppose in this case I have taken known solution over here. This is the known solution. This known solution I am taking over here. This known solution I have taken over here. Suppose this is known solution, right? Suppose, and this is HCl. So this is unknown solution and this is HCl. Suppose this is HCl solution. Now in the burette, suppose I have taken this unknown solution. This is unknown solution. I am taking from here this unknown solution, and this unknown solution I have to drop it down, थोड़ा थोड़ा करके इसको नीचे. Indicator we have to use because I am taking unknown solution in the burette. तो हमको यहाँ पर डिपेंड करता है कौन सा इंडिकेटर लेना है. यहाँ पर हमको लेना है phenolphthalein, HPH. Why? Because the foreign solution will be basic, and phenolphthalein change the color in basic medium. See over here, phenolphthalein will change the color in the basic medium, right? So say I have taken HCl, and HCl I have taken 20 ml. In the burette I am adding, from the burette I am adding NaOH. So NaOH will combine with HCl, it will form NaCl plus water. We are adding drop by drop NaOH to this HCl. So slowly the pH of the solution will increase. When we have added phenolphthalein over here, at that time the color of the solution is colorless. Why? Because less than 8, this will be colorless, right? So acidic solution HCl means this is less than 8, so solution will be colorless. If I am adding NaOH, slowly this acidic condition is being neutralized by NaOH, and slowly the solution is become less acidic. and then it will come to the neutral condition. Neutral condition means when whole HCl will be neutralized by NaOH, but the solution will be colorless because at pH is equal to 7, there is no indicator which will give the color change. So we have to keep on adding the NaOH. After equivalence point, what is the equivalence point? When the milliequivalent of NaOH added just equal to the milliequivalent of HCl neutralized, at that point will be known as, this point will be known as equivalence point. But at equivalence point we will not get the color change. This is a drawback of this titration, right? So we have to rely or we have to believe in the color change. So we have to keep on adding the NaOH. So suppose after neutralization point reached, after that if I'm adding small amount of 1 or 2 drop of NaOH, then 1 or 2 drop of NaOH is sufficiently enough to increase the pH around 8 or 8 point something. So as soon as the pH of the solution is coming to 8, the solution will be basic, relatively basic, and we will get the pink color like this. We will get the pink color, this one. This pink color we will get. Light pink. Always remember, we should get the light pink color. If you are getting relatively dark pink color, that means you have added extra amount of NaOH. The reading value will be wrong. So that is why you have to add a drop by drop NaOH over there. So at end point, what is end point? Where you will end the reaction. And where you will end the reaction, where we will get the color change. So whenever we are getting color change, then that point is known as end point, right? In this case, end point will come after equivalence point. So we have to assume end point as an equivalence point, and then we can use law of equivalence, and then we can say milliequivalent of base added, that will be equal to milliequivalent of acid. So simply we can say N1 V1 is equal to N2 V2. N factor in case of acid, that is HCl, N factor in this case is 1, that is the basicity of acid, and base N factor is 1 because NaOH, acidity is 1. So we know the formula, normality is equal to molarity into N factor into volume is equal to molarity into N factor into volume. As N factor is 1 in both the cases, then this will be simply, in this case, molarity into 1 into V1 is equal to molarity into 1 into V2. So in case of acid, V2 you already know, this is V2, this part is V2, right? This is nothing but V2, that is acid. And V1 you will get the, you will get from here how much amount of volume you have used, that reading will be from burette. So you will use that part. This is known, this already known, this molarity is known because this is a known solution, base. In this case you know this, so directly you can say M1 will be equal to M2 into 20 divided by V1. Sorry. You can say M2 will be equal to M1 into N factor into volume divided by V2 because you know this and you also use N2. So molarity you can find out, already this is 1, this is 1, so this will be M1 divided by V1 divided by V2. So you can find out the concentration of this solution. So in this way you can find out the concentration of unknown solution, right? Now the second one is redox titration. This is first. Now let's start with the redox titration. So we are coming to the second part, redox titration. In redox titration, as the name indicates, this is based on the redox reaction. The concept is redox reaction. And what is redox reaction? When the oxidation and reduction takes place simultaneously, that is known as redox reaction. So it is quite obvious that if one is oxidizing agent, one known solution or unknown solution is oxidizing agent, then the other solution will be reducing agent. Say for example, suppose unknown solution is ferrous oxalate. Ferrous oxalate means the concentration, that is molarity of this is unknown. ये हमको पता नहीं है, हमको find out करना है. Alright? Now we have to take oxidizing agent. Known solution must be oxidizing agent. Known solution must be ऑक्सीडाइजिंग एजेंट. ऑक्सीडाइजिंग एजेंट हमको बहुत क्लेवरली यूज़ करना है. क्यों? क्योंकि यहाँ पर कोई इंडिकेटर नहीं होता है जो कि कलर दे. सो हमको ऐसा कुछ ऑक्सीडाइजिंग एजेंट यूज़ करना है जो कि सेल्फ इंडिकेटर की तरह काम करता है. किसकी तरह काम करता है बेटा? सेल्फ इंडिकेटर की तरह. सो वी हैव टू चॉइस ऑफ दैट सेल्फ इंडिकेटर. वन इज़ K2Cr2O7 जिसका कलर होता है ब्राउन, दिस इज़ ऑरेंज, और दूसरा होता है KMnO4 जिसका कलर होता है रिलेटिवली पर्पल कलर. ठीक, ये दोनों के दोनों सेल्फ इंडिकेटर की तरह काम करते हैं. कब? जबकि क्रोमियम का +6 ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट है, देन इट विल शो द ऑरेंज कलर, एंड Mn+7 में रहेगा KMnO4, देन इट विल शो द पर्पल और लाइट पिंक कलर. दैट डिपेंड्स. ठीक है. So suppose I am taking this ferrous oxalate in the conical flask. Suppose this is the conical flask, and then in this conical flask I am taking the unknown solution. This is unknown solution FeC2O4. Right? Say 20 ml or 25 ml of I have taken this. So what I have to, this solution is colorless. This is colorless. Now from burette, I am taking burette over here. From burette I have to add, say, KMnO4. And this is an acidic medium. एसिडिक मीडियम हम ऑलरेडी H2SO4 या HCl यूज़ कर रहे हैं कुछ यहाँ पर, जिससे कि मीडियम एसिडिक हो. So concentration of FeC2O4 we have to find out, that is molarity, and KMnO4 we are adding from the this burette. As soon as we will add KMnO4 to ferrous oxalate, so we must know the reaction. The reaction is important. This is +2, this is +3, and this is +7. KMnO4 being oxidizing agent, it will oxidize the iron and carbon. So this iron will be oxidized to Fe3+, and carbon will be oxidized to Cu2. And in acidic medium, KMnO4 will convert into Mn+2. So if we see the N factor of KMnO4, that will be 5, because the change in oxidation state per mole is 5. So N factor is 5. For this, N factor is 3. Why? Because carbon is going to convert from +3 to +4. So for one carbon there is a loss of 1 electron, but we have 2 carbon per mole of ferrous oxalate. So for 2 carbon there will be loss of 2 electron. Apart from that, for iron there will be loss of 1 electron. So total loss of electron per mole of FeC2O4 is 3. That's why the N factor is 3. So whenever we are adding this KMnO4 to this is going to be added with this. Slowly this will consume. And when this is going to convert into Mn2, this is not having any color. This is colorless. So this purple color of KMnO4 is going to be diminished when it is going to react with FeC2O4. There will be a time when all the FeC2O4 will be consumed, right? We are adding this is going to consume with this. So simultaneously these two are going to consume. When the FeC2O4 totally consume in the solution, यहाँ पर FeC2O4 है ही नहीं, ठीक, at that time we will get the equivalence point, but at equivalence point we are not getting the color change. After equivalence point, if we will add one drop of this KMnO4, so now there is no FeC2O4 in the solution, so KMnO4 will be there in the form of KMnO4 only, and it will be there in the +7 oxidation state. It is not going to convert now into Mn2 plus. So this will be now purple in color, or if the dilute solution is there, very dilute solution, so it may be like pink, right? So after equivalence point, if we are adding one small amount or one drop of KMnO4, then we will get the color change, and color change means end point. So at end point, first of all we have to note this volume from here to here. Suppose this much amount of is required, so volume of KMnO4 is suppose over here V1, and this volume was suppose V2, right? So we have to use this volume. Now at end point we can say milli equivalent of KMnO4 will be equal to milli equivalent of ferrous oxalate FeC2O4. Then we can say N1V1 is equal to N2V2, right? N1 is what? Molarity into N factor into volume, that will be equal to molarity into N factor into volume. So molarity we know already, that is this KMnO4 is the known solution. Say molarity is M1, that is given, right? So M1 into N factor is 5 into volume we will get from burette, that will be equal to M2 we have to find out, N factor is 3 into volume in this case is 25. So then we can say M1 molarity will be equal to M2 into 75 divided by 5M V1. So you will put this value, and sorry, again wrong. M2 you can calculate, M2 will be equal to 5M1 into V1, that is from burette, divided by this part 75. So from here you will get the concentration of unknown solution, right?